Alright, today we're going to work on the shoulders. So let's start by laying down. And we're going to do some swimmers just to kind of get the shoulder joint and the shoulder caps a little bit warmer first. So all you guys are going to do, start with the hands behind the head, flare the elbows up, reach all the way around until you get to your lower back. When you're at the back, your hands will be facing up to the ceiling, elbows always flared up. So we're always trying to think about tension being pulled up. Right, so imagine you had puppet strings attached to your elbows and they're always being pulled up. So you're trying to keep that tension in the upper back, tension between the shoulder blades. Good, so nice and easy. And when you guys get back to the top, you can reset those elbows and give yourself a quick little breather. Good, so nice and easy. We're just going to go 5 total on these just to kind of warm up the capsule, warm up the shoulder joint as we talked about. Try to keep your shoulders down, so imagine that I'd still be able to see your neck, so try not to shrug up. We're shrugging back with the shoulders. Now what we're going to do is we're going to extend the arms like we're doing a YMCA dance. We're just going to do the Ys. We're just going to do some lift offs, so thumbs up to the sky, lift up, come back down, lift up, come back down. And when you're doing this, same thing, we're not trying to shrug up to the ears, we're trying to pack the shoulders down and back, lift, come right back. Alright, and then we're going to go right back into swimmers, right? So we're going to go back to 5 swimmers. And we're starting with this, like I said, just to get the shoulder joint warm, get the scapula to move a little bit more, and then we'll go right into our stretching from there as well. So back to the swimmers. Flare the elbows, nice and slow and controlled. Keeping the elbows up, focusing on tension the whole time. Great job, a couple more, almost there. Keep those elbows up. Good. Make sure we're breathing as we're going through this. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of sit on our feet, sit nice and tall, and we're going to work on some external rotation. So you guys are going to take your arm out in front of you, take one arm, go under the tricep, and then wrap around and grab that wrist. Right, so you're almost like you're kind of looping through that arm, and then you're going to pull that arm that you're pulling on. You're going to pull it out to the side. So we're creating external rotation. So I want you guys almost imagine like a front rack position for front squats or shoulder presses or things like that. And we're trying to create as much external rotation as we can, and we're just leveraging that opposite arm to obviously force that stretch. So we want to think about keeping the elbows up, staying tall in the position with the spine. So even though you're sitting on your feet, your spine itself is very tall. And we want to focus on that breathing. So remember, one thing that we always talk about with our stretches is we're stretching for tightness. We're never stretching for pain. So do not force this stretch. Do not over pull. You should feel this in the back of the shoulder caps just a little bit. Good. So nice and tall, and really try to slow the breathing down. Alright, let's switch arms. We'll do the exact same thing. So remember, arm, one arm up, opposite arm is going to go under the tricep, and then you're going to grab that wrist with your hand. From that position, you're going to kind of pull that hand out, lift the elbow up on the arm that we're stretching. Good. Stay nice and tall. And then from here, what I want you guys to do is focus on your breath, right? So inhale, all through the nose as best we can. Deep inhales. Long exhales, right? Good. Remember, your breath is what's going to allow that body to kind of relax into these stretches and relax into these positions. So use your breath as best you can for this. Good. And that arm that we're pulling on, the arm that we're focusing on right now, make sure that elbow stays up. I almost, like I said, I try to mimic the position I am when I'm kind of in a front squat. We're doing even a shoulder press as we're trying to think about elbows up, external rotation through the shoulder joint. Good. We're almost there for this one. Good. All right. So we've done both sides. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to work a little bit on internal rotation of the shoulder joint. We just did some external rotation work. So this, we're going to do some pails and rails. So what I want you guys to do is you're going to kind of lay on top of the shoulder. Okay, and you want to make sure that you're still able to see your neck. So you see you're trying to keep most of that weight over that shoulder joint that we're lying down on, right? And then you're going to keep that elbow about 90 degrees from your torso. And what you're doing with that top arm is you're kind of pushing that wrist down. And this is a very, very easy stretch to overdo, so be careful when you guys are pushing on top of this, that we're not giving too much force. But now what we're going to do is we're going to do some pails and rails. So what I want you guys to do is you're going to think about the arm that we're pushing down on, is now you're going to push up against that top end. You're going to pull and try to push against it as hard as you can, so it's isometric loading for 5 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then relax, and then you're going to push back down, right? So that's basically what a pails and rails is. What I want you guys to do is switch to the opposite side, turn over, push down first, go as far as you can with that tension. Once you get there, once you get to that end range, what you're going to do with the bottom arm is you're going to push against the top hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then relax with the bottom, and then take that top arm and push down a little bit more. So basically we're creating isometric loading into that hand, and then we're relaxing and pushing down a little bit farther. And you should feel every time you go through a set of these that you go 5 seconds of loading into it, and then when you relax and push, you should feel it's a little bit easier to get a little bit deeper into that stretch. And as always, you're going to find that one side tends to be a lot tighter than the other one. That's totally normal. And don't be afraid when you guys are doing this, even by your own, even on your own time. Things to do is do a little bit extra of this, right? Focus more on the side that felt tighter. Alright, good. So now we've kind of done a little bit of external and internal, so now we're going to go into a little bit more of a static stretch. So this is called the twisted cross. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to take one arm out to the side, and you're going to kind of push yourself on the arm that's out to the side, push yourself and roll the opposite, right? So what you're doing with one arm is it's kind of down like a push-up position would be, and you're kind of pushing to support. So if I'm laying on my left arm out to the side, my right leg, my right foot will be right behind my left leg, right? And that right knee is going to be pointing up to the ceiling. So you should feel this stretch in the shoulders. You should feel this stretch in the chest. Be careful that it's not too much in the joint. It shouldn't feel like a pinching. Sometimes if it is a pinching, it's because maybe your hand is too low relative to your body position. So that arm that we're laying down on, sometimes I'm about to make sure that my hand is actually higher than the shoulder joint. All right, let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Good. So remember, right arm completely extended, left arm is just kind of pushing to give you some support. And that left leg, and that left foot is going to be behind your right leg with the left knee pointing up to the ceiling. Good. Remember, avoid the pinch, right? We're stretching for that tightness to the shoulders and the chest. And as always, focus on the breath, right? Inhale through the nose. Exhale. Good. The more you can control the breath, the better. Good. Focus on the breathing. Try to relax into the stretch. Remember, your breath and the time and the position and the weight that you're putting on the shoulder is going to take care of the stretch itself. You don't have to force this. Good, almost there, guys. Keep focusing on the breathing. Relax that bottom arm that you're on. Good. All right, nice and easy. Let's roll ourselves out. All right, so move your arms around a little bit if you need to. Some of these exercises and some of these stretches can be a little tender on the joint. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do just a basic towel stretch here. So one arm is going to go over the top, and the other arm is going to go behind your back and under, and you're going to grab this towel. You can use a towel, you can use a t-shirt. If you're flexible enough, obviously you can use your hands, but most likely if you're watching this video, you're not. So what we want you to do is kind of try to take these hands and try to scoot them closer to each other, right? So baby steps over the time of the stretch, kind of scooting my hands in. Be careful with the hand that's behind your lower back, that you're not getting too much of a pinch into the joint. Sometimes that can be sensitive, so just scoot as close as you can until you feel tightness and make sure it's not pain. Alright, this is help kind of opening up the rotation capacity of the shoulder, which is what we're focusing a lot on today. Good. Same thing as always, stay nice and tall. One thing to pay attention to with your breath here is make sure as you're breathing that you're not allowing that rib cage to flare. You're keeping that rib cage down so you're kind of remaining neutral at the spine. Deep breaths. Remember, as soon as you feel any tightness or sensitivity at all, let your breath be the one that kind of bring that back down, right? Let your breath control that. Good. All right, let's switch sides. Same thing on the opposite side. One arm over the top, one arm behind your lower back, and you're going to kind of hold onto the towel, the shirt, whatever you're using. Make sure that we're trying to scoot as close as we can without causing any pain. And be careful with the top hand as well, that it's not forcing your neck to the side or down. You want to be able to remain nice and tall with your position with your spine. Good. Focus on that breathing. Great job. Halfway there, almost there. Keep taking those hands and over time keep scooting them closer. As always, just be careful that it's not causing any tension and pain, right? It should call it tension and tightness. Good. Alright, all done with that one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into a little bit longer of a hold for this one. We're going to do a puppy dog pose. So puppy dog, I want you guys to take your arms and extend those arms as far out from your body as you can. Hips are not going to sit back on your heels like a child pose was. I actually want your hips to stay high. What this is going to do is going to help kind of open up your lats, your chest, your thoracic mid-back. So keep your head down, right? Keep the hips up, put the head down. So we're kind of creating this global extension from your arms to your spine. Good, and this is a great position to really, really focus on your breath here. So what I want you guys to do is we're actually going to try to go a little bit longer with some of these holds now. So we're going to think about 4 seconds in. Hold for 3, 6 seconds out. Good. So I want you guys to keep going through that. So 4 in, 3 hold, 6 out, right? And continue to focus on this breath. Like I said, this is a really, really easy position to really open up lungs, open up the position that you're breathing in. Also take advantage of the time with these static positions to really work on your diaphragmatic breathing, right? And what this is as you guys are inhaling, you're focusing on almost trying to expand the stomach. So I'm breathing into the lower ribs or breathing into my stomach, my lower back, and then as I'm exhaling, I want to think about that air leaving the stomach first and traveling out the mouth last, right? And what this does is it helps you guys really take advantage of learning how to belly breathe. So it helps kind of promote more stability through the lower back. But most importantly, we have to remember that this is how humans are designed to breathe. So try to focus on these positions as a chance also to work on your breathing. So nice and easy, we're almost there. Good. Take your hands, maybe crawl your fingers a little farther forward. Keep your arms nice and long. Alright guys, and that's it. So nice and easy, let's get yourself out. And as always, for a rebound, if you guys want to lay down your back or your stomach or move your arms around, it's always highly suggested. If not, take care and have a great day.